What's that sound? It's For Amusement Only, the EM and Bingo Pinball Podcast.
Welcome back to For Amusement Only. This is Nick Baldridge. For this episode, I thought I'd combine my tech and kind of history segments and just talk about how to move a game. Assuming that you've just made a new bingo or EM purchase, what's the best way to get that to your house? Assuming that you've gone to pick it up in person. Some people would say to transport on legs. Some people would say to leave the head on. Others would say to leave the head attached but folded down like on a solid state game. And others still would say remove the back glass from the game and transport it separately. Now I would say that all of those are doable, but not the way that I would do it. So here's what I do. I go and inspect the game. If I can't open the head, then I will drill out the locks necessary to open it. Once inside, I'll remove the Jones plugs, loosen the head bolts, and there's typically 4. It doesn't matter the make or model. Older games sometimes will have 2. But we're talking directly post-war or pre-war. By war, I mean World War II. Once I've loosened the head bolts, I'll remove them one at a time very carefully, keeping my hand on top of the head. Then I'll set the head down. I'll leave the back glass inside the head. Next, I will open up the coin door, take off the lock bar, and then remove the playfield glass. From there, I'll remove all the pinballs which are inside of the game. This prevents the pinballs from moving around during transit and breaking plastics or other playfield devices, targets, pop bumper caps, etc. Once I'm satisfied that there's no more balls, I check for loose change and other items which can fling around while the game is in transit. Assuming everything's in good shape, then I will put the playfield glass back in, put the lock bar back on, close the coin door, and move on to the legs. I start with the back legs and take them off one at a time, and then slowly lower the game down to the ground. I do this not by holding the neck where the head sits, but by holding the inside of the cabinet itself. Once I've lowered it to the ground, I'll make sure, if I haven't already done this, that the power cord has been tucked inside the game. Then I'll go around to the front of the machine and lift it up into the air so that it's resting on its back. And I'll take off the front legs. From there, I'll move the body of the game into my vehicle, and then I'll put the head inside. I typically wrap a blanket around the head to prevent any kind of force from being exerted against the back glass, and I make sure that everything is strapped down and tied appropriately so that it doesn't move and shatter that oh-so-valuable back glass. Once I'm satisfied with everything's condition, I close it all up, and from there I drive on back home, take it, set it up in the arcade. And when I set it up, I do just the reverse. First I put on the front legs, then I put on the back legs, then I put the power cord out of the neck, then I put the head on, then I bolt it down, then I plug in the Jones plugs from the cabinet into the head. Well, that's all for tonight's short episode here. My name again is Nick Baldridge. You can find me online at foramusementonly.libsyn.com. You can reach me at foramusementonlypodcast@gmail.com. And you can find us on Stitcher, iTunes, Pocket Casts, RSS, and on Facebook. Thanks again for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.